Good morning, folks. Happy Monday, if there is such a thing as a happy Monday. We are looking at the exit ticket from Friday. We had a couple people called me up pretty early in the day. I did forget to actually put the inequality symbol there. So a few of you submitted this. It was originally an equation. It was totally meant to be an inequality. So thank you for the few of you who reached out. Apologies to those of you who solved the equation before I switched it. But here is your full solution. We start by isolating the trig function, and then we have sine 2x equals 1/2. That's the equation that we're going to be solving. So then there's two solutions where sine reaches a value of 1/2 at 30 degrees and 150. Keep in mind we want to consider general terms, and we have that little nes again, n is an integer. Divide everything by 2, and you have these two general solutions. But we only want solutions 0 to 360. So we take the first several solutions you see here. Anything adding or anything subtracting other than these would be outside of our interval. So this is the next step is where many people had questions. And I think this is the first example that I had so many emails coming through about this. At this point, these are considered your zeros or solutions to the equations. Well, we also want to mark the endpoints of my interval along with your solutions. There are no restrictions. Sine is a domain of all real numbers, so there's no restrictions to include. And basically what you're doing now is you're testing each smaller interval in between these numbers, and you can either look for, when set against 0, so I would have to subtract the 1/2, am I positive or negative? Or, and what I did here was basically, if I chose an answer, and I'll choose like 20 degrees, right? So if I choose 20 degrees, sine of 2 times 20 is sine of 40. Is that greater than 0.5? Absolutely it is. So this interval worked, so this interval gets a check mark as part of my solution. All right. If it didn't give me a solution, I would cross it out, and we omit it basically. So there's only two intervals that actually worked. It was 15 to 75 inclusive, union 195 to 255 inclusive. So that was the exit ticket. Before I talk about my expectations for today, just a couple quick things I wanted to highlight. Thank you for everybody who filled out the optional question. Your answers kind of continually made me smile throughout the day, so thank you for that. Hopefully it gave you a little time to reflect on some positive things from the non-ideal situation we're all in. But a lot of positive things came through. A lot of you are really happy to be home with family. A lot of you, those of you with dogs, are talking about how much you love walking your dogs, or how the dogs are hanging out with you while you're watching these videos while you're in class, quote unquote. That was awesome. A few of you shout out because you had the same answer I did. My positive note, I love to cook. And with what little free time I get from these videos and from wrangling my son, I've kind of picked up cooking again. So I shared that answer with a few people. Okay, moving forward. I don't really have a lesson today. The rest of 10.4 is very similar to what we already talked about in chapter 8. So I'm going to kind of hit the pause button for today and tomorrow. And on the course page, you're going to see a set of 10 problems. They're not necessarily varsity, or certainly not like D1, but they're a good set of rigorous problems that combine strategies from chapter 8 equations with some new inequalities and strategies in chapter 10. Keep in mind we had a couple substitutions from chapter 8. Now we have more substitutions with all of our new formulas. So be aware of those. I'm not going to necessarily post the answer key today. I will give you the answer key tomorrow with a little more guidance. I want to see how much you can do today. I'm still available for questions. So if you're completely lost, or you're completely stuck, or you don't think you know what you're doing with one of them, reach out. I'm here to address any concerns or questions. Answer key will go up tomorrow. All right, so get to work on either the homework or those 10 questions on the attachment for this post. Have a good one, folks.